The third method of calibration is method of internal standard. So this method is frequently used in techniques like chromatography. So here what you're going to do is, along with the analyte, we'll be adding a stock material or stock solution which is going to serve as the internal standard. Okay, so internal standard in the sense this compound is going to be very much similar to that of the unknown analyte that you are going to identify or that you are going to estimate, but it is not identical to that chemical to the chemical species of that particular compound of interest. Okay, it is similar but they are not identical, and it also produces a signal similar to that of the analyte of interest, but it is also equally distinguishable. Okay, for example, in chromatography we get something called chromatogram, right? That is, the response will be obtained in the form of peaks. So this peak will be detected or obtained or to be identified as a particular compound based on the time at which the peak appears on the chromatogram. So the retention time, it is called as the retention time. When the compound is eluted out of the chromatography, you'll be getting this peaks, or this peak can be interpreted based on the retention time only. Each compound or each chemical compound has its own unique retention time. So when you are going to add an internal standard, this internal standard will be eluted at a, or will produce a peak at a particular retention time, and then your standard of your compound of interest, that will produce a peak at a particular retention time. So these two can be compared, and then you can come to a conclusion whether the analyte of your interest is similar to that of your compound or internal standard which you have added or not. Okay, so we can make those kind of comparisons. Okay, so here we are going to add this pure sample or this internal standard in a fixed quantity, okay, to all the analyte which is being analyzed, okay, including the standard solution. So here you can see the round bottom flask, it signifies the internal standard, and you have the unknown analyte, and you also have the stock analyte. Okay, so this unknown analyte is taken in the test tube, or that can be one sample, and stock analytes are taken in the test tubes in different concentrations, and you will be adding this internal standard to all these test tubes. So this internal standard is going to act as the tracer compound. Both these compounds, analyte of your interest and the internal standards, will produce the signal, and you are going to compare these signal, and you are going to make some kind of interpretation or some analysis. Okay, so here you can see this equation, S is equal to Kcx plus B. So this is again similar to that of Y is equal to Mx plus C. So here, because you are using two types of compound, both the analyte and the internal standard, they produce two different signals. So SA, it stands for the signal produced by the analyte, and SI, it stands for the signal produced by the internal standard. Okay, so it is a ratio of these two. Signal is the ratio of the these two compounds, of the analyte to that of the signal produced by the internal standard, right? So now you can just rearrange this equation to find the unknown concentration Cx. You are just reshuffling the terms, like Ca by Ci minus B by K. So this K, it is equivalent to the slope, and the B, it is equivalent to the intercept. Okay, so that is about this method of internal standard, and this is quite frequently used in chromatography. Okay, so with this we come to an end of the calibration method. So I hope you have understood all these three concepts. So we'll meet in the next topic in the next video. Thank you.